Hey guys, this is Nick from ForexNoobs.com with my midday analysis. Just a quick notification before the analysis. Right now, the Forex Mastermind course is open for enrollment for a few days. Visit the link below this video to check out the course. So before I start the analysis, I want to explain how it works so you can actually use it in your trading. On most Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, I hold a live analysis session for my Forex Mastermind students. These sessions are recorded and posted to YouTube. I say most because some days I'm busy and other days I'm not trading, and I have a rule: when I'm not trading, I do not post analysis. In the analysis, I look for price action reversal setups on around 10 to 20 pairs that I'm currently trading. I check every time frame for every pair, taking a systematic approach to doing analysis. Personally, I do this analysis several times per day, but only the midday session is recorded as most setups are spotted then. So what are setups? A reversal setup occurs when price stalls at an area of support resistance and a transition of power occurs, from buyers to sellers or from sellers to buyers. I wait for price to approach these areas and spot potential setups. But these setups are not actual trades. When I share a setup on this analysis, it doesn't mean I'm entering the trade right away. Setups are just setups, and many setups do not trigger, so they never actually become trades. But some of them do, of course, and some of them become trades. To understand this, you have to know a little bit about my strategy, which I share for free on ForexForNoobs.com, and there's a link to the strategy also below. I use 4 different tags in the name of these analysis videos. The tags are in brackets at the end of the name. It's important to know these tags just so you understand what is in the video. So if you see no setups, that means there are no setups today, obviously. If you see upcoming setups on, that means there are no setups, but I have spotted some very strong support resistance areas, which may lead to setups later in the day. So that could be anywhere between a few hours to a whole day. And if it's tagged with setups on, that means there are setups today, and I'm sharing potential trades in the video itself. So let's get started with the analysis. So today is Wednesday, the 26th of April, 2017, and the time is 14:01 here in the UK. You're looking at a GBPAUD daily chart. Well, now you are. And in today's analysis, we're just going to go through all the pairs I'm looking at, all the time frames, and look for price action reversal setups, as we always do. All right, so what's going on with GBPAUD? GBPAUD has started trending up again. Now, if you recall, last week I shared a potential trade on GBPAUD on, I think it was Wednesday, or maybe it was on the Tuesday. And then on the next analysis, I talked about how I've entered the trade. This trade did end up hitting target. It was open over the weekend, which I probably shouldn't have done. I didn't realize that the French election would cause such a big spike across a lot of different pairs, such a big gap even. I wasn't expecting such a huge gap, but the gap happened, and yeah, I mean, it didn't really affect GBPAUD that much. I'm glad I didn't have other positions open. Didn't really affect GBPAUD that much, so it wasn't that bad for me, but I probably shouldn't have held over the weekend. Regardless, this trade was held over the weekend, and it did hit profit the day before yesterday. So Monday it hit profit. So it was a pretty good trade all in all, but as soon as it hit its target, it just turned around and now it's going up. So yeah, I mean, the target was pretty spot on. I didn't want to stay in this trade for much longer unless it was trending down heavily, but it just wasn't trending down heavily. The reason I didn't want to hold this trade too long was because the overall trend was pretty bullish. So we had like a very strong bullish trend. So I knew that this being a counter trend reversal and the bullish trend being so strong that it would probably only push back a little bit. That's why I had my target pretty low. My target was 1.5 R, which is basically 1.5 times my stop loss. So it's not a huge target, it's a very small target. And it was a good thing for this specific setup because this setup, you know, it never even reached 2R, which would have been roughly down there. So yeah, this trade worked out well. It was nice, nice profitable trade. Anyway, next, actually we should actually do some analysis for this instead of talking about just the trade. So right now it's trending up. It looks like it's going to break the resistance area. So there's nothing really much that I would want to trade here. We could do a quick support resistance placement, but we're going to have to go to the daily for that. Perhaps there. Maybe here and here. Yeah, I'm going to place two areas. This just gives us some areas further up that we could use as support resistance if price pushes up high enough. So we've got two new support resistance areas here on GBP AUD, the 1.7380 and the 1.7670, roughly. So GBP AUD, new support resistance areas. Let's see what happens. We could be seeing a move up to here, potential reversal here, move up to there, potential reversal there, something like that. Keep a close eye on it. But right now, it's obviously not moved up yet, so we can't really do much. All right, AUDCAD. What's going on with AUDCAD? Nothing much. It's in between two support resistance areas, so nothing really to trade there. AUDJPY, in between two support resistance areas, nothing much happening. AUDUSD. Okay, that's interesting. It's on the support area on the 4-hour chart. Okay, so we're seeing signs of price stalling on top of this support area. We're seeing signs of price stalling here. It's a pretty strong support area. It's held price back in its two recent bounces. So we could be seeing something like this. Perhaps moving higher, perhaps turning around here, who knows. We could be seeing a reversal, that's the point. It is trending down, so I'm not gonna really, I'm not too crazy about jumping in short here. But it's worth keeping an eye on. Let's see what happens. Let's see if it holds for a, well, actually, I didn't even notice this one. So we have one bounce here, moved away, one bounce here, one bounce there. So let's see if it bounces a fourth time. Let's keep a close eye on this, see what happens. If price stalls a little bit longer, if we start seeing signs of a potential reversal, we could potentially enter a long trade here. It's nothing to get terribly excited over because this line has been tested multiple times. It does seem to be trending down. So, you know, it's nothing to get like very, very excited over, but it's worth watching. Let's keep a close eye on it and just see how it plays out. I'll just move this to the top of the list for now. All right, let's check out CAD-JPY. What's going on with CAD-JPY? Okay, CAD-JPY gapped up, swung down and came back up. Looks like a bit of indecision's forming, but to be honest, I'm not really that crazy about trading this. I don't want to take a short here. I mean, I kind of do. It's somewhat tempting, but I just don't like that gap. That gap is kind of annoying. Kind of messes up the price action here. I'm probably not going to do anything here. Nah, I'm not too interested in this. Moving on, Euro AUD. What's happening with Euro AUD? We have indecision forming on resistance or just above it. I'm not too sure about trading Euro in the coming weeks, to be honest. EuroCAD, yeah, nothing much there. AUD New Zealand. Oh yeah, this. All right, so we have I was looking at this earlier today. One of my students alerted me to this potential setup, so I was checking it out. This actually looks pretty good. AUD New Zealand. What we have here is price trending down, so we have a nice bearish trend line starting. This trend line has two bounces. This looks to be the third, and it's lining up with our resistance area. We're getting indecision. So, you know, all three together, this resistance area is a bit Yeah, well, whatever, it doesn't matter too much. Point is, we're seeing signs of price stalling on resistance, which coincides with a trend line. I'm kind of tempted to potentially take a short here. So I'm going to be keeping a close eye on AUD New Zealand over the coming hours. The daily, maybe the 12-hour, something like that. It's looking decent on the 12-hour right now. Yeah, all in all, it looks like a pretty decent potential short setup here. So with the trend, hitting resistance, it all looks pretty good. So I'm going to keep a close eye on AUD New Zealand. I'm kind of excited for this one. Keep a close eye on it and just see how it plays out. All right, Euro GBP. Yeah, I mean, with that gap up, I'm not too sure about taking a trade here. Euro JPY, again, that gap up, it just kind of ruins things for me. Euro New Zealand, again the gap, and then it just started trending after that. Euro USD. Sorry guys, I'm just going to mute my phone. There we go. Done. GBPJPY. Okay, what? Ooh. Alright, the gap. There was a gap with this, but the gap's closed, so I'm not too worried about crazy price action because of the gap. That looks quite good. It looks like a potential short setup is forming, is in the works. It's definitely stalling at this resistance area. Definitely stalling. Interesting. Let's keep a close eye on this. There's potential for a short trade here. I'm not too crazy about it, but there's potential for a short trade here. It's worth keeping an eye on. Let's keep a close eye on GBPJPY. What were we up to? GBPUSD, I think. All right, GBPUSD, nothing much happening here. New Zealand CAD is trending down. It's in between support resistance areas. So yeah, nothing much going on here. New Zealand JPY is again sitting in between two support resistance areas. Therefore, there's nothing much I would really want to trade here. Whoa, okay. Nice. Ooh, look at that. That looks good. All right, so New Zealand USD trending down. Preceding trend is down, I mean. Stalling heavily on this support area at the moment. Last time it came down to this area, it reversed from it. Wait, that's 2 times. Huge reversal there. Smaller reversal here, but reversal nonetheless. I guess you could also count that as a third bounce, sort of. So now it's going down for another attempt. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens here. I'm curious. It could just keep moving straight down, you know, like it could just go bam, keep moving straight down. But we are seeing signs of it stalling on its previous support area. So let's keep a close eye. If we start, you know, if on the daily or maybe even on the 12-hour, we start to see some solid indecision, we could potentially enter a long trade here. This is definitely worth keeping an eye on. It looks really nice. Because even on the 12-hour, it's showing signs of it stalling right now. And then on the lower time frames, we're seeing just stronger signs of it stalling. So this is worth keeping an eye on. New Zealand USD, potential long trade in the works. Keep a close eye on it. All right, USD CAD. It's in between 2 support resistance areas, so there's nothing I'd want to trade there. USD CHF.
Nah. It gapped lower and came back up, so I don't even know if that's support or resistance anymore. Huh. USDJPY. Ooh, okay. I'm not crazy about this because of the gap, but at the same time, it looks kind of good too because USDJPY is trending down. It's come up to this resistance area. This resistance area has worked out well in the past, acted well as support in the past also. So we could see it acted as support here, here, here. Then when it broke below, it acted as resistance here. So now it's back up to it. I'm tempted to see what happens here. Like I said, I don't like the gap there. Price action just tends to get messy when it gets into gaps because a lot of traders kind of see the gap as something important. So when price falls into this gap, it could get pretty messy. But we are pretty far from the gap, so we do have a decent amount of room to move to the short side if we were to take a short trade here. So yeah, let's keep a close eye on this one. There's lots of potential setups today. This one looks pretty decent. I'm not crazy about it, but it looks decent. Definitely worth keeping an eye on. All right, so let's just do a quick review. AUDUSD, potential bullish short-term reversal counter trend. Looks okay-ish, but there's nothing to get terribly excited over here. We just need to see what happens. It could very well just keep pushing down. There's nothing to say that this is actually going to reverse. It's just stalling right now, and it's stalling on a support area that has shown us several bounces in the past. So this could be the fourth bounce, and it's worth keeping an eye on. AUD New Zealand, potential short trade is coming up with, which is a continuation of the overall trend. A trend line is supporting it. So we have a potential short trade here. Looks pretty good. Looks actually really good. Only problem with this one that I see at the moment is massive amount of noise through here. So if price falls back into here, it could get stuck like it did on its way down, and it could take forever to keep moving down. So it's worth keeping an eye on, but I would trade this very carefully. USDJPY, we just covered, it's trending down, and we're seeing signs of indecision at resistance. It's a decent resistance area, acted well as support in the past, acted kind of well as resistance here. So it's worth keeping an eye on. And New Zealand USD looks really cool. Nice, strong preceding trend. It's stalling really heavily on this support area. Could be turning around and heading up, potentially. So we'll keep a close eye on that one, see how it plays out. Yeah, it looks decent. New Zealand USD, and finally GBPJPY. We're seeing potential signs of price stalling at resistance. Yeah, we could potentially get into a short here. So that is quite a few potential setups. AUDUSD, New Zealand USD, AUD New Zealand, USDJPY, GBPJPY. Any questions, guys?
Thanks for watching the analysis. I hope it was useful. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit the like button below. In case you missed it, Forex Mastermind, my online training course and forum, is now open for enrollment for a few days. Check it out by clicking the link below this video. Also, for instant notifications when I post analysis or other cool videos, subscribe to my YouTube channel by clicking the subscribe button below. Once the setups I share in this analysis trigger, I post live updates as I manage the trade, such as my entry, exit, stop, and when to get out of the trade. For these updates, add me on Facebook or Twitter by clicking the buttons below. I'll see you in the next video.